Danny Alvarez, Internet City Live Radio.
That is right. That is right. You're tuned into Thump Thursday mix show along with the Indian Medicine Show. We got a special show today in store for you guys. Got my boy Joe Cush in the house. Hey, what's up, Joe Cush?
I'm not wearing any underwear.
Yes, it's a good first liner, man. It's a good first liner. How you feeling today, man?
I feel funny.
Feel bad? Is it the parking lot? What happened in the parking lot a little while ago?
Yeah, in case you people out there understand the parking lot. You just don't know.
Oh, man. Hey, it's always fun in the parking lot.
Parking lot out there right now, don't we?
Yeah. That's definitely. Oh, Danny, what are you doing back there? Anyways, you're tuned into InternetCityLiveRadio.com here. Thump Thursday Mix Show goes down every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we have a special today as well. We got Indian Medicine Show going down as well, and it's gonna be a cushy kind of day, ain't that right, Joe Cush?
Yeah, I'm feeling the moment right now. I'm sitting in the corner like I'm Chamuco.
Like Chamuco.
Got my gafas on.
Right. Anyways, Danny, are we gonna do some talking right now? Or do you want to get into some just music right now? What are you feeling for, man? What are you in the mood for right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit.
Let's talk for a little bit. Okay, let's talk.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex.
Everybody likes it. I like doing it.
Let's talk about what Joe wants to talk about.
All right.
Let's talk about sex.
Joe, what do you want to talk about, man?
Sex.
He's like, keep saying it. I keep saying it. Like, what's wrong with you guys? Right. Okay. So how's your sex life going, man?
Well, if I'm not getting it.
I'm not getting it.
Sometimes you got to go on autopilot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Always got to keep doing it. You
Okay.
know what they say? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you got to play tug of war with yourself. You know what I mean? There's no shame in my game on that side.
Hey, no, hey, for sure. Hey, I wish I had one to spit out for you, man, but I ain't got nothing, man. I got nothing for you right now. You got anything for Joe here, man? Hey, Danny? He's on more pushing for the cushion.
I can't even hear myself.
He wasn't even in the parking lot.
He wasn't even in the parking. I know, right? He was stressing here the whole time.
I'm walking through the parking lot.
Yeah, he was walking.
He was walking through the parking
He
lot.
got a contact high.
Anyways, we're chilling right here at InternetCityLiveRadio.com, acting like fools on a Thursday night here. Thump Thursday mix show going down here every Thursday night. And we also got a special medicine show going down tonight. And all our guests will be in here momentarily. They're in the parking lot too. I don't know what they're doing in the parking lot, but
Touching each other.
Well, basically, what we're going to talk about is cannabis.
we're talking about a lot about cannabis. That's right.
The whole
It's a
show-
cannabis
It
show.
was cannabis.
The whole show is going to be about cannabis and how it saves lives and stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
What's cannabis?
He said, "What's cannabis?"
I don't know. I'm learning.
Says that
Are we talking about weed or what?
Says the guy with the last name Kush.
Yeah.
Talking about yes, God. Hey, I feel like I'm echoing here, man.
I know we are kind of echoing here.
Am I echoing through you guys here? Hope nobody's out there on acid or anything. You're gonna fucking be hallucinating.
He's so jealous.
Let's go some music, man.
All right, you're chilling here at Thump Thursday. Make sure going down here at Thump Thursday every Thursday night on InternetCityLiveRadio.com. We got Indian Medicine Special going down tonight as well with Joe Cush, Danny Alvarez Productions, and all our guests will be here shortly, momentarily. This is DJ Breaker. I'm about to set it off here. Here we go.
Pump it up.
Time. If you ain't here to party, take your ass back home. If you getting naughty, baby, here's my phone. Slide with your boy to the bar, slide with your boy to the car. I've been searching everywhere and now here you are. for them girls with the big old hoops that drop it down in Daisy Dukes.
I wanna get down.
Yeah, them the ones I'm tryna recruit. I'm looking at you, yeah, you, baby. Now let me hear you say you're ready.
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, girl, you better have your hair weave strapped on tight. Cause once we get going, we rollin', we'll cha-cha till the morning. So just say alright.
Alright.
If you ain't here to party, take your ass back home. If you getting naughty, baby, here's my phone. Slide with your boy to the bar, slide with your boy to the car. I've been searching everywhere and now here you are. Oh, junkie, looking for them girls with the big old hoops that drop it down in Daisy Dukes.
I wanna get down.
Yeah, them the ones I'm tryna recruit. I'm looking at you, yeah, you, baby. Ow. You got what I want.
I got what you want.
Girl, you got what I need.
I got what you need.
37, 27, 42. Ooh, squeeze all of that in my coupe. Girl, I choose you. Junkie. Looking for them girls with the big old hoops that drop it down in Daisy.
Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody drunk out on the dance floor. Baby girl ass jiggle like she want more. Like she a groupie and I ain't even know a tour. Maybe cause she heard that I rhyme hardcore. Or maybe cause she heard that I buy out the store. Bottom of the ninth in the city got the sore. And now I gotta move on to the next floor. Here comes the 3 to the 2 to the 1. Homeboy tripping, he don't know I got the. When they come to poppin', we do this for fun. You ain't got one ticket, you better run. Now I'm in the back getting from my huns. While she going down, I'm bragging on what I done. She smoking my stuff, saying she ain't having fun. She ain't give it back, now you don't get none. Everybody in the club getting tips. Now everybody in the club getting tips. Now everybody in the club, 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 in the club, in the club.
Take it slow, but it's not typical. He already knows that my love is strong. His heart is damn hard. Oh, I'll be a daydream. I'll be your favorite thing. We could be beautiful. Get drunk on the good life. I'll take you to paradise. Say you'll never let me go. In the halls I can feel you. Take me back to a time when we knew how to wait. We could waste the night with an old film speculating on the couch in the back room, how to wait. Say you'll never let me go.
You should've seen how I pulled up in the ride, in the ride, in the ride. Got two up, wanna fight me outside, fight me outside, fight me outside. You should've seen how I pulled up in the ride, in the ride. Yeah, I got two up, wanna fight me outside, fight me outside, fight me. I just do my dance, and cup my pants, and twist my fingers with my hands. Just do my dance, and cup my pants, and twist my fingers with my hands. I just do my dance, and cup my pants, and twist my fingers with my hands. Just do my dance, and cup my pants, and twist my fingers with my hands. While all these rappers wanna be, never see him in the hood, only see him in the club. Ask me, I snuck in with the and I just let the block have the homies say I'm dumb. What's up with that? Out with that? I'm about to pull a Suge Knight and press the issue on sight. The real see the check, go we on yo. I went to sleep flamed up, but I woke up in my polos. I rock a low cut and wear my socks like a cholo. I could've got a ghost, but I went and got a Lolo. This copying off you rap, cause it's a no-no. I can hop out solo, suck this I probably need 3 more. It's emo, and see my altitude and have an attitude. But I'm a solid, what you pulled up in the fire, in the I got 2 motherfuckers wanna fight me outside, fight me outside, fight me outside.
I'm rockin' with the next, so start reaching for the ozone. I see some girls I know, but y'all is different with your clothes on. What's up though? Tasking and stealing like the Grinch while I'm leaving this puzzle like I said my in French. But it's all old English that I'm bringing from beneath. Try to bite my style on wax and watch these lyrics crack your teeth. Cause I make words connect like West Side when I test glide. My drunken lyrical hang glider. Nobody's tighter than a rough rap provider. With 90 ways to peel you, so I know we mash and kill. I filter out the week every time I speak. I drink to hit the peak to make my mind go. I'm deaf defiant. You rapping like my client, trying to scrape me for the style that slam harder than Kobe Bryant. Be quiet. This is liquidation from the West. Motherfucker boozy show. I got my own special guest.
Breaker, 1-9. I bust this up behind with the silver shine. Cause she thought she was fine. She winked at me, I thought it was fine. This is having this mine. I had the alcohol and it took my time. Rotate, turn on your table. Pull the diamond needle, pull it to your ego. What, you the king in the chair on my ground? The Tyson of sound is 20 seconds to a round. Scavenger, use the shrimp. A full line of my ear can't digest it. Stop drinking all that motherfucking water. Let's take it to the land. So I can Godzilla up your Mr. Tiny Tim, man. Be creeping up my beanstalk. When I start to come down on your at the bottom top, don't get these motherfucking ones.
Can't wait till I get you on the floor, good looking. Going out so hot, just like an oven. And I'll burn myself, I just had to touch it. It's so fine, and it's all mine. Hey, baby, we don't mind all the watching. Cause if they study close, real close, they might learn something. She ain't nothing but a little doozy when she does it. She's so fine tonight. And as long as I got my suit and tie, I'ma leave it all on the floor tonight. And you got
DJ Breaker.
Let me show you what all dressed up in black and white, and you're dressed in that dress I like. Love is swinging in the air tonight. Let me show you a few things. Let me show you a few things. Show you a few things about love. Now we're in the swing of love. Let me show you a few things. Show you a few things about love. Hey.
When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Don't care for me. I wanna have control. perfect soul. I want you to notice. So fucking special. I wish I was special.
Rush into the street, light me up with a cigarette and shoes on my feet. Got to find a reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone. Got a Dalmatian, I could still get high. I can play the guitar like a motherfucking riot.
Well, life is so love the one you got, cause you might get run over or you might get shot. Never start no static, I just get it off my chest. Never had to battle with no bulletproof vest. Take a small example, take a little bit from me. Take all of your money, give it all to charity. Love is what I got, is within my reach. And the subplot starts just straight from Long Beach. It all comes back to you, you're bound to get what you deserve. Try and test that, you're bound to get served. Love's what I got, don't start a riot. You feel it when the dance gets hot. Love is what I got. I said remember that. Love is what I got. What I got. What I got.
It starts with one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know or wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Mr. Joe Kush. I'm waiting for my t-shirt, homeboy.
Oh, I brought him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm glad you just reminded me.
All right.
Yeah, 'cause I just forgot, man.
Well, I can't hear
You know,
myself
those
on the mic. I
goddamn
don't know what's
stoners fucking forget shit. Oh, my, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, my bad.
on. Well, my mic's not working.
I couldn't hear me if I tried.
Yeah, me neither.
I can hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what do I
Can you
look
hear
like?
me? Oh, okay. I'm really low. Okay. Okay, good. All right. We live.
Hey.
You're tuning into InternetCityLiveRadio.com here. This is Thump Thursday Mix Show going down here with the Indian Medicine Show special that's going to go on immediately right afterwards or in conjunction with. Anyways, we got Joe Kush in the house right now. Say what's up, Joe.
So we're going to have all kinds of different opinions about everything today.
Hey, we always have opinions here at InternetCityLiveRadio.com.
You guys scary, man. Give me another joint. This shit's gonna get deep. I already feel it, man. My fucking gut's turning right now. Hey, there's a bathroom in here, right? If I fart, homie, somebody turn off the fan. Turn that shit up on high. These breakers right behind me.
Hey, shit. Don't blow my shit up, man.
He's gonna scratch the record.
Right. Anyways, Joe Kush, so tell us about your clothing line. Where can they find your clothing line at, man?
I was looking at that. That's pretty nice, man.
Oh, you like the new one? This is
Yeah.
the Hawaiian one.
Yeah, there
The
you go.
Maui Wowie.
Hey, now you need to bring us 2 shirts, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I brought you guys shirts.
Okay.
But I have to dig through and I'll ruffle through and I'll get to these.
Okay.
You brought us the most expensive ones, right?
Yeah, all my shirts are badass.
Okay.
There's not one. I created every one of them. They came out right out of my head.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was fucking high when I made them too.
Hey,
Yeah.
because I got high.
You design all your stuff?
Yeah, everything. I get on a good trip and I work out. When I work out, I like to get really, really high. So I've been like that since I was 13.
Hey, like anything else, right? When you like to
Yeah.
eat, you like to get really
Yeah,
high. When
you
you got to
know,
go to the
I-
movies, you have to be really high. Like,
I gotta be high because I focus better. I am stronger. That's like my natural steroid for me. Actually, it works for me just the same way a steroid would. It just gets me in there right. But anyways, while I'm in there,
So you don't feel the tiredness after you're working out?
nah, I'm a workhorse in there.
Are you?
Oh yeah, not bad for.
So you can run 20 miles then, huh?
I might feel like I'm running 20 miles when I get there. But I ain't never run out there and clocked me yet or anything like that.
Right.
I ain't trying out for the Olympics or anything, but I can.
I hope
I can give. I can give out 10 minutes of my energy.
10 minutes.
I can go 10 minutes of
I'll
cardio,
pull 10 minutes.
and then you got me. If that, I'm just pulling a gun out and shoot you.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you, I can run 20 miles.
See,
Really?
I have to shoot you then. Because it's a no-win situation. I ain't gonna win. You know, we're gonna play dirty then.
Okay.
This is a joke now. Don't take it serious now, Daddy.
No.
You scare me over there, man.
No,
I'm gonna smoke some more weed right now.
He's still gangbangs, dog. Watch out.
I'm telling you, man. I got that OG stare, homie. That's why I got the sunglasses on, so he can't even. He just thinks I'm looking at him, and that's it. I'm looking sideways, homie. I'm fucking like.
I'm a changed man, but don't think I won't go back. I'm just saying.
I am a changed man.
I almost thought about going back to church.
Right? Go back to school.
Thought about it. Then I remember Ice Cube, homie. Scared, go to church. You down, put in work. So I ain't scared, so I guess I gotta go the other way.
When's the last time you've been there?
Which one?
To church.
The church.
I think I was a kid.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, because we're all from. I'm from East LA. Everybody goes to church.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Catholic, so you're raised that way, just whether you like it or not. I could be Muslim and still be raised Catholic. You know what I mean? You're in East LA. You're Catholic, food.
Right. No doubt, you're Catholic.
If you don't know Spanish, you'll know Spanglish at least.
Right.
You'll know one of the two.
You're gonna be Placita Olvera, chill right there.
I mean, I grew up in the days when the donut man used to come driving down, just pull his drawers out.
Right.
Have donuts right there for all his kids and stuff. Some old school stuff, man. He used to come low riding that thing.
I bet you don't remember the Helms, man, do you?
The Helmsman?
Yeah.
No.
The yellow trucks with the donuts?
Yeah, the yellow truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that donut guy.
Yeah.
He used to pull out the drawers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Helms man.
Oh, that's what they were called. We
Yeah.
just knew him as that
See?
because I just know it's a yellow fucking looks like almost like a lowrider station wagon, and he just opened up his side doors and just pulled the drawers out and.
But it was really a secret. It was the pot man.
No way.
Yeah.
So they were doing this since day one, huh?
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer, Stoner. I was only 5 back then, man. I'm old, but I ain't fucking there yet.
So I was around about that time, so that's how I know. The pot man.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to watch guys get all shermed out and walk around naked and shit. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with that dude? This dude's walking around, big old fat dude with a little dick and shit. Walking around. I'm like, come on, man. That shit was scary, dude. When you're 5 and you're coming out of church, I mean, not church, because I went to Catholic school. So you're 5 years old, you come out here, and you're pushing the button to walk across the street, and you see this guy over there, he's butt naked trying to push across the street to come to you, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going that way.
Some big fat dude's a little dick.
Was that the priest?
I don't know what he was, but he was scary, man. I ran that way. I thought he was Chamuco. And he was fucking with me with his little dick. You know what I mean? I thought he was almighty powerful of the dark age, and he'd be fucking walking around with a schlong hanging down to his feet.
Oh, man.
So I'm like,
Hey, man.
When you're a kid, you come out of, you're used to being raised that way, so. You walk around like blinds and shit like a horse does. You see stuff like that shit scares you.
Right.
Hey, I'm not supposed to be talking this way. You got me. See, you're a bad influence.
Danny asked
It was
the question.
Breaker.
Danny asked the question.
Breaker. I told him to pull my finger and he did.
Hey.
He's getting the back end of it all.
Literally.
He's dying over there. Hey, anybody got some oxygen? Turn the fan back up.
Some clear air.
So what else is going on in the parking lot?
Yeah, what is going on out there?
I don't know, man.
What are these guys doing? They're going to come
You
in?
invented the parking lot. Didn't
You know, just fumbled right into it.
You just fumbled right
Angel
into it.
Baby did that to me.
Yeah,
He's the one that started throwing the parking lot thing on me.
Yeah, that's right.
And he just nicknamed me that stuff.
The parking lot.
Hey, is
the
he
parking
listening?
lot. That's the parking lot right there.
We're having power. You know, as natives, we go out there, we're going to have power. Dude, smoke signals, we're throwing them up. Hey, right here. We're right here.
Right here.
Can't miss us, man. If you can't see us, you can smell us for damn sure.
For sure.
So you're the vato from the parking lot then,
Simon, you know,
Órale.
just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
Just a character. Don't mind me. I just look funny.
But y'all making money, right? Yeah.
So your belief in this cannabis, what does it do for people?
You know, for me, it's still a learning situation on it. I mean, but at least I'm applying myself to learn it. You know what I mean? Me, I just grew up as a stoner, just like, you know, I'm from the 80s, 70s, 80s and whatnot. So, you know, I caught the ass into the hippie generation. So for me, that's all it was to us. It just, we didn't know anything about medicinal part of it. We just know that fucking made us cool again.
right.
You know what I mean? Maybe my wires were crossed back then, and that was just the gateway to straighten them back out for me, because as you can see, you know, I'm a lot cooler now. Got my shades on.
And a lot happier too.
You know what I mean? I'm just here trying to spread the word.
Hey, when
now.
you can roll with your stunner glasses indoors, you're cool as hell, dude.
Hey,
You know?
picture this 260-pound dude fucking rolling these little joints, man. It's fucking impressing.
Oh man.
You know, and that's just where we're at right now. Yeah, for me, back on that subject, you know, didn't know anything about that until even when I started my business 10 years ago, when nobody was, you know, the scene wasn't like, it was just what I always knew it as. Hey, we're stoners and that's it. We go buy from our local,
Right.
you know, fucking cannabis dealer and shit, you know. And it was never that until the CBD busted through on I think it was a little girl that had called her Charlotte, and they came up with that Charlotte's Web. I'm not sure if that's the authentic of the story, but that's where I got the understanding of CBD, the Charlotte Web, how it works for seizures and whatnot. And for that, I started looking into it myself because of what it actually can do for you. You know, I mean, CBDs help with your organs, you know,
Right.
circulatory system, things that I need because at my age I want to keep breathing, and you know, helps with brain activity, whatnot, stress, anxiety.
Why?
That's a good question. Let's try it and find out. Let's go to the source.
Let's go to the parking lot.
I'm just the middleman, man. I'm going to take you to him, man. We're going to go to the fucking promised land. We're going to have a good one, man. I'm telling you, I guarantee it. Yeah, that's just, I mean, for me, I just think now that they're looking into it more in depth with the scientific part of it all, that they're seeing that this stuff actually is doing what it's saying it's doing.
Right.
You know, but of
Right.
course they're not going to fully put it out there. I mean,
Well, they don't want to admit that they were being wrong
Yeah.
for years, you know. Like,
I won't say FDA around here, but
right. We won't say that at all.
did I say it? Hey, we're not live, bro. You're not recording this. Are you?
It's all right.
Hey, man, I'm
We're-
just Joe Nobody.
Hey, the
homie.
FBI follows us already, so it's all good. It's all good.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you, FDA.
You'll know if they come knocking on your door.
I'm in the sticks. Come get me. And come out of the sticks and start, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Who are you looking for?
Yeah, we know a bail bondsman.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Remedy.
Remedy.
Yeah, it just flowed through me. Look at that. And I haven't even done time in what,
You're right.
17 years, I think, the last time I set foot in there. Look at me. Ray knew the bail's about Remedy.
Right.
Like I ever had something to offer to get me out of there. Hey, homie, you take my chanclas, homie, for collateral? He's like, Charlie, homie, we don't work that way. How about my PJs, homie? We got teddy bears on them. He laughed. He got to laugh, but he didn't give me shit, though.
Hey, when you're smoking that stuff, do you see Santa Claus?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's not December. He don't come. That big, big red white dude doesn't come around till Christmas time.
God, it comes around all the time.
Not in my house. Shit, I'm still broke.
Exactly.
Drive me a Honda, homie. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Fuck it, homie. I'll be 260 in that little fucking car. Homie. Smashing like it's a Mercedes. Dreaming, homie. Just dreaming hard, homie. Fuck, I'm gonna make it happen. Fuck everybody. I'm gonna make it happen. My bad.
He said, about, hey, don't apologize here,
Oh.
dog. No apologies here, dog.
Oh. I thought somebody was whispering in my ear. I forgot I had these on.
So, what else good about cannabis?
Well, obviously, if you
We could joke and talk about.
I'll tell you this, because I do love sex a lot, and this stuff works just like the blue pill for me. You know what I mean? Even when I went to the doctor to get my doctor's note, I told him, he goes, well, what does it do for you? I go, it makes me horny. What? I never heard anybody say that. Who gets horny off cannabis? Dude, I'm backwards, man.
I'm backwards.
Wires and ain't cross right, man. But yeah,
we're trying to tell you guys. We're trying to tell you guys.
Yeah, that shit has me doing donkey kickouts and shit.
Donkey kickouts.
Okay.
Oh, man. Man, I wish I had that. So I had
Yeah,
that.
the stronger the kush, the better. The more cushion for the push. Hey, you guys watching this? Because this is live. It only comes around once, man.
Right,
Check
right.
it out.
Check it out. Check it out.
It's kind of weird that we would get to talk like this, huh?
Right?
On radio.
No, never, man. Never.
Now everybody knows my business. I drive a fucking Honda. I'm broke. I ain't got no bins. I pretend I'm smashing into bins.
Hey, dog. Hey, you are driving the Benz, dog. In your mind, dog.
You know what I
so.
mean? Hey, picture me rolling, homie. 'Cause I picture me rolling every day.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
So, what else is good about it?
Well, as you can see, I'm a more happier person.
I can see that.
I like to joke around now instead of just look at people like, "What the fuck you looking at?"
Right.
Yeah, you know what? I admit it. I'm in my age where I'm acting like an asshole sometimes, and this really helps me out a lot. You know, just mellows me out. You know, I'm able to I'm in Zen, I guess you could say.
Zen. Ja.
And fully functional. I can hold a conversation. I'll talk to you, and it'll just be like there won't be no tension out of anything that comes out of anybody's mouth. You know what I mean? Just it ain't gonna phase me.
Hey, you trip out though when you,
Unless they poke me.
when other people when some people like get out and they get all paranoid. Like I don't understand that. How do you, like what's up with that?
I think it's me. I mean, I'm not a doctor on this stuff,
Right.
but could be pesticides.
Pesticides.
You know? I mean, a lot of this stuff does have pesticidal on it.
That's
I mean, I
crazy.
grew up the old school way. It was all organic, you know.
Right.
We had the good chocolate Tide, red hair, purple, skunk, you know, Indo. We just called it Indo.
Right.
You know,
right.
and, you know,
I just trip
and
out people-
Hawaiian was the best. It was the
I just
best.
trip out people get all paranoid. I'm out, dude. I just feel so relaxed, you know, like.
Dude, I was paying $20 a gram back in the 80s for Hawaiian. I'm like,
Right.
that's today's prices.
right.
That's how
Really?
good Hawaiian was back
Oh
then.
yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that stuff. I mean, I'm wearing the shirt, Maui Wowie. That stuff was the man.
Oh,
that was.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's wild, man. It's wild.
That stuff smelled good, smoked good, and that was two-hitter quitter shit back then. That was all organic, just naturally outside, outdoor. Some strongs. Even chocolate Thai was like that. Good chocolate.
That was good, man.
Good chocolate Thai.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the school one time. I had to go to continuation. First day in continuation, I stop at the nearest liquor store, right? There's a guy out there. I met homie out there. He's known, I mean, he's a youngster. We're all, you know, high schoolers, but he was always known for having the best bud. And he pulls me over and goes, hey, I got some chocolate Thai if you want to buy it. And I'm like, I'm broke, fool. Can't even buy smokes, you know what I mean? Don't trip. Free on the house, all right? Fuck yeah, I take a couple hits, I'm good. By the time I get to school, I'm faded and X-rated. And I don't even know my name if you called me twice, you know? Even if you said it backwards, I still wouldn't know what you said. And the teacher was telling me when I got into class, hey, she's yelling at me, basically, get the book. And so I'm like, huh, all dumbfounded. And I go up there like, huh? And I'm pointing at all these books, and she's getting pissed off at me now. And she's like, she's ready to cuss. Because it's continuation, they can kind of get away with a little bit there, you know, chop you off at the knees at least. But, yeah, she finally came up to me and goes, whatever you do, don't ever come to my class high again like that, you motherfucker. And I just started laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? She just told me that. That's fucking cool.
That's cool.
I thought I was in fucking. I thought I was back in juvenile hall where you can cuss at the teacher. Fucking Los Padrinos, man. You know what I mean? You can sit there and cuss at these teachers and they'll cuss back. You're like, fuck, hey, you just cuss back. Fuck him too. Hey, fuck you too. You're just having fuck you wars. You know, there's no detention or nothing. Like, fool, I'm already here. What? What are you gonna do? Throw me there? Fuck, I'm here. Take my shoes. You already did.
I think we got a doctor in the house, so I think that
Dr. Feelgood?
Yeah, something like that. And then we'll go into some music.
Okay.
I would like to have Joe Cush be our panel.
Okay.
Is that like a referee?
Yeah, kind of like that.
So you want me to be in the middle?
Yes.
You're already right in the middle, so you're good.
This is gonna be funny. They put a motherfucking stoner in the middle, dude, of some politics.
Here we go, man. Play the music.
Spin that one.
Staring at two different views on the window ledge. Coffee is gone cold, it's like time froze. There you go, wishing floating down, I wish it would. It's like I'm always causing problems, causing hell. I didn't mean to put you through this, I could tell. We gonna sweep this under the carpet. I hope that I can turn back the time to make it all alright for us. I promise to build a new world for us two, with you in the middle. Hoy te esperaré en la esquina iluminada de mi calle Oven. No puedo comprender que nunca confesaras tu amor aquella noche eterna. Daba igual. Hoy te esperará este reducto de marfil y de hueso que soy. Me hiciste un gran favor, oh, nadie ha dado un paso por mí. Yo era una luz enterrada con puñados de cal. Y si estoy solo esta vez, no es casualidad. Morir por ti sería un lento y bello final, y no regresarás a mi corazón, no. Morir por ti sería un ambicioso final. Hoy te esperaré. Oh, dime, dime a mí quién soy, qué soy. Y en el oscuro soportar, Señor, mi suerte al fin pudo cambiar, pero te extraña que exija de nuevo tu amor. Hoy te esperaré. Sí, dime a mí quién soy, qué soy. Y puedo comprender que nunca confesaras tu error aquella noche enferma. Era
a ti, no necesito más. Ya no sabría vivir sin ver amanecer al filo de tu piel. Si sé que te tengo a ti, qué fácil es soñar. Tus curvas son mi ley, tu cuerpo mi lugar. Avísame un poco más, te quiero recorrer 1000 veces y otra vez. El verano duerme en nuestra cama, tú prendiendo fuego en cada madrugada. No hay razón para no sonreír si sé que te tengo a ti. Si sé que te tengo a ti, ya no volveré a dudar. Eres lo que creí que nunca iba a encontrar. Eres mi tentación, llegas el carnaval, entro en la habitación. Y el verano duerme en nuestra cama, tú prendiendo fuego en cada madrugada. No hay final, subo y vuelvo a caer. Ven y quítame la sed. Esta sed. Si sé que te tengo a ti,
en algún lugar de un gran país olvidaron construir un hogar donde no queme el sol y al nacer no haya que morir. Y en la sombra mueren genios sin saber de su magia concedida sin pedirlo mucho tiempo.
This is Danny Alcaraz. We got a very interesting group here today. We got Dr. Roger, right? Am I right?
Yes, Dr. Roger Walker.
Scientist Chris, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Joe Cush.
Ain't nobody. Stop lying to these people.
And what do we call it again, Breaker?
What's that? What's that?
What do we call
This
it?
is our Indian medicine special, right?
There we go.
That's
There we go.
That's
So
right.
let's start off with questions. Mr. Joe, you can start it off.
I'm curious about your CBD products there. What do you got all there right there? Why don't you explain to these people what you're all about?
Well, this is MCT oil, CBD. My CBD oil is far different than any of the CBD oils that you'll ever find in any, pharmacy or your local, CBD store. Most CBDs, when it's extracted from the plant, it comes out at about 7 microns. So a micron is 1 single micron is about the thickness of a hair follicle. So 7 microns would be 7 hairs. My CBD is 40,000 times smaller than a micron.
That's some thin stuff.
Yeah, and the reason why we do that is basically not.
Does it burn better that way?
We don't burn it. I mean,
when,
don't.
When you do,
I don't.
When people do it vape-wise or anything,
Well,
or gets heated up.
I did give a couple of vape lines out to some of my friends that wanted to go down that road, but then I wasn't really into it so much because all of the work that I've ever done was with injectable CBD, and so I wasn't really wanting to step away from that. So I have like 15 different formulas, and I gave 3 of them to my friends that have made millions.
Really? That's nice. Everybody likes money. I had a question on your syringe, though. Those are not. It's not a needle injection, is it? It's just.
Yes.
Oh, it is. It's actually a needle injection.
Yes, it's a needle injection.
I gotta stop wearing my sunglasses at night.
Yeah, this is a 27 gauge. Sometimes this would be a TB. They use either the 27 gauges or the 26 gauges.
Stomach pop that thing, or
I
just
can
anywhere.
I can do this literally anywhere, but a lot of the times I use the needle not necessarily for injecting, but for actually metering the dose into the ear.
Oh,
because
you squirt it in it, basically.
Well, the average CB dose that somebody needs that would be effective, would be like an entire eyedropper or an entire dropper that's 1 milliliter, 1 milliliter long, and our dosage goes out. The average dose in the ear is 1/100th of a milliliter.
Now let me ask you something. When you do the ear, because I remember you were telling me outside that it helps with brain cancer.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Why don't you explain that part, then?
Well, there's a number of different things that are going on inside of the cranium when you have brain cancer, because it's an infection, or it's basically an infection.
Yeah.
Cancer is, and so you have an infection going on inside of a tissue that just doesn't allow too much in or out. It's called the blood-brain barrier, and so in order to get in, through that blood-brain barrier, we have to nanosize the material that the CBD or even the carrier oils, down below 146 to 180 nanos is the blood-brain barrier in the average person. So my medicines I lay out at around 40 nanos.
Now, what are these? What's in these jars? You syringe from those, or these tops, the green ones here?
Oh,
that's for syringing, and then that's for dropping.
This is an eardrop. This is one. This would be. I don't know if your camera can get in that close, but I'm going to show you what can. Can I drop it on the table?
Sure, no problem.
This is.
It's just going to cost you $1 million.
That's a dose.
That's a dose.
That's a dose right there.
There we go.
And it's not quite like the dosing that some of my kids might be doing, but this is a dose of CBD that comes from us. The reason why you don't have to do nearly as much, it's not just because of the size of the molecule. It's because it efficiently gets to the liver and gets distributed throughout the body in a way that, there's no material out there other than water that is efficiently able to. Sorry.
We live.
Was that God?
I'm not nervous, so I didn't fart.
That's how you know we on live radio.
All right. Let's break up the monotony. All right, so this gentleman here on my left here, if you want to tell the audience your name and what you're all about here.
Sure, I'm Dr. Roger Wong. I'm a clinical pharmacist with over 25 plus years of experience in a whole vast of areas of disease management, from diabetes, hypertension, even HIV. I met with Chris, interestingly enough, at a city council meeting in Pomona. We were trying to educate the city council about the marijuana industry and how to positively impact their they're tax coffers.
Now you're a doctor, right?
Yes, I am.
So this guy's a
Yeah.
doctor.
I graduated from.
And you're for it, right?
I am actually for it.
Why is it these other doctors don't want to get on board with this?
You know, there are some doctors that are.
Or are they just uneducated, or what?
I think a lot has to do with education.
They're
when you're in
scared to
medical
tip,
school,
they're scared to go to the dark side or green side. Or what?
you know what? I think part of it's indoctrination. When you're in medical school or when you're in pharmacy school.
Do you guys judge each other in there? I mean, like, hey, this dude's for cannabis, man. Fuck him. Do you guys do stuff like that? Like, I mean, because there seems to be that you have doctors that are for it and doctors that are against it.
Sure.
So for me, I'm a stoner. I gotta look at it this way. These fuckers just don't like each other. You know, they just. Do you guys do that?
I think there's some differences in opinion, and partly, you know, you have to look at the educational level. You know, when we're trained in school, we're indoctrinated by pharmaceutical companies, by man-made products, and myself as a pharmacist, I was only given like one semester of
knowledge of
plant biology, basically using plant products to heal or treat, and the rest is all man-made products. So we've been indoctrinated, we've been brainwashed to prescribe.
So you're pharmaceutical now.
Right, we're basically pharmaceutical based.
Yeah.
But I think I've taken more of an open approach, and
I like your approach.
Yeah, I always like to be open-minded.
I just met you.
Yeah. I think you're a really cool guy.
I got you. They
Kush,
flew
that'd be
me
cool.
in right here, man. I was on the corner with my thumb out, man. Some dude told me he wanted to go to a party. They threw me in the middle of all this.
Yeah, but
My bad. Okay, back to the sound.
But you know, I've always been fascinated with natural remedies. You know, it's just been part of my DNA. You know, and I always curious about that. And when I met with Chris at that city council, I was really impressed with what he was doing.
Now, Chris is who now?
Chris is the
Chris
biochemist there. Yes.
See, this is why you don't smoke weed and try to remember names.
Right.
We're gonna wear name tags next time.
Let's get organized here.
Hey, what's up, man? I know you. Okay, back to the cell. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so I kept an open view about medicine and that you know, Western medicine isn't everything. There's other aspects that can treat diseases, and I began to realize, you know, marijuana is actually a very precious plant.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you on
You
that
know,
100%.
yeah, especially with the cannabinoid products, which is what Chris is working with primarily,
Yeah.
the CBD products, and that has the most medicinal value. Not to mention treating cancer, but there's other things been used for, like PTSD, fibromyalgia.
Now, PTSD, that's post.
PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not-
that's
it's
basically
not
what the military is.
premenopausal.
That's most of the guys. The
No, it's
military
post-penal.
Post-penal.
Post-traumatic syndrome disorder.
You heard my talk about it.
Yeah, post-traumatic syndrome.
Post-penal.
Weed makes me horny.
It's post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome.
And that's the military people are the ones who are usually having that, aren't they? Like
Right.
Ohio number for that.
That's me.
Right.
That's you right there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, they found when they treated for them, if I'm not mistaken, it helped them. I mean, a lot of them stepped forward and said, yeah, but they're being neglected from the government if they do this, that they're going to cut their funding or something like that.
I actually got involved in a program called MAPS, and they used LSD, ketamine, DMT, LSA, and peyote on me, and it healed me of my PTSD really fast.
Really?
I was majorly depressed and angry, and I didn't know how to deal with people when I came back, you know, and they didn't know how to deal with me either.
So you're a loner like me then? That's what you're saying.
I you know, I really enjoy being in the lab by myself.
I'm going to make a shirt that says I only work well with others when I'm high.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, when you work with CBD, there's always some splash, you know, so you're working with the oil. And I do wear gloves, but my arms are exposed. It's not really getting high. It's getting euphoric.
Right.
For somebody that don't know what euphoric is, I can't explain it. But
You sound like you were about to. It sounded like you were about
just
to,
saying,
man.
man. I can't
Well, I
you
mean,
just had to be there. That's all I can tell you, man. See, these guys know what I'm
It's
talking
You
about.
sound like you were about to start explaining something, man.
yeah, euphoria
These guys get
is
the PhD.
euphoria is in psychological terms it would be touching God.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you picture that? Maybe because I'm already there.
I'm not like a Christian. I'm actually primarily in a way Buddhist. I mean, I meditate a little bit every day, and I was Zazen Buddhist, but I do believe in God. I do believe in Creator, and I believe in Yeshua. Everybody else goes.
Do you believe that a higher power gave us this planet?
I believe that we're here to protect this planet.
And that's medicine right there we need.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're here for each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you on that. Yeah, I fully do. It's a test.
That's right. It is a
lot
test.
of us we're
That's
flunking
right.
that shit really bad.
That's right.
There's only a handful of us out there that know what's up, and it's just a matter of the domino effect kicking in. But
I was a flunky.
fuck it, I'll kick the domino, man. Where's it at? Somebody has to start this shit off. All right, back to the doctor over, because I want to talk to this doctor guy. Now, on this subject of the CBD part of it, what got you so like, well, I want to investigate that? Was it word of mouth, hearsay, or just fell in your lap with some type of information that made you got interested in going to the cannabis approach?
Well, being a pharmacist, I've always wanted to be interested in the medical aspect of things, so that kind of, I can tend to gravitate toward that direction.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how my trip started with marijuana. I mean,
You said trip.
yeah.
Is that a technical term?
It's in the Webster Dictionary.
Right, okay.
Find me in it.
If you'd asked me if I was going to be in the marijuana business 2 years ago, I would just laugh at you and turn around and walk. My journey into this industry is very young, about a year. I'm a grower. I cultivate.
And you also studied then, I assume.
Yeah, and
Research and whatnot.
I'm doing research, and actually I'm collaborating with Chris, the biochemist to my right.
Yes, dude's mad, man.
Yeah.
Scientists, they're mad.
He's about to inject you right now, man.
He's getting you prepped to get an injection, by the way.
I ain't scared. Homie, give it to me.
Give it to me.
I can walk the main line home. There's no shoe program here.
But
Okay,
anyways,
so-
Chris and I were talking about collaborating and getting a grant to sponsor our research, in particular cannabinoid research in treating cancer patients. We think this is really a major revelation as far as treating cancer patients. Chris has been in this business for well over 3 decades, treated thousands and thousands of patients, and has had a very good success record. And I think that's something that we need to partner together and bring this out and get this thing moving forward, because I think it has such.
Do you think eventually they'll all get on board once they start?
I think they will. It's a
Hey, Joe, check it out.
educational process. You'll get on board.
Check behind you, Joe. Look behind you. He about to take a dose.
No.
And that's how you do it.
He said that's how you do it.
It's
I
usually
got
a
it.
diabetic
I got it.
syringe, so
I got it.
it's not very traumatizing.
So I'm on air right now. So.
Bring it, Daddy. He's taking a phone call.
Is he on the phone?
He's on the phone. He was on the phone.
This is like the theater. How many put this shit on mute? You can have your popcorn and soda.
Oh, man.
Now,
So is that a rush? Is that a rush right away?
Oh man.
He's out, man.
Oh my God. I'm dreaming about the first time I ever had.
Yes.
Cindy Lopez.
You didn't just do
We
that
had 2
right now.
kids. I
You
did.
just did it?
Of course.
He just injected himself right now.
Oh my God.
He said, like,
Yeah, Cindy. I was 15. She was 17.
I don't know who she is, but she sounds badass already.
I quit the radio show right now just in case the ambulance comes.
I shot myself up in a federal court in 2012 in San Francisco
How'd that
before
go?
a federal judge. It was interesting. Everybody was in shock. They were all in shock. You know, I mean, I
I
was.
thought you were gonna stab me in the neck a minute ago. I looked out. He's like, "Hey, check it out, Joe." Get the glasses, man.
I mean, I could give you a shot if you wanted to.
No, I was
You
just
know,
like,
but
Come on, Joe, do it.
I was
Do
having some
it.
prison flashback shit.
Do
man.
it. Hey,
Homie, give me a metal plate. Homie, block that shit.
the only way I can legally give you a shot is if you are a member of the Native American Church.
No, I'm not.
Okay, I
I
can't
am
give
Native
you.
American though,
yeah.
but I'm not a member of no church.
Yeah, you have to be a member of the Native American Church in order for me to legally give you a shot, because that means that because I'm actually a medicine chief in the Native American Church.
What about if we went around the corner and put a blanket on us?
I can
I won't tell, you know what I
I can give you a
Could you get away
needle.
with that?
I can give you a needle and you can inject yourself.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
here, take it.
do it, Joe.
Yeah.
Do it.
But the man right next to you is licensed to give shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of this.
All right.
The man to load me up and the man to dose me up. I'm Joe Kush. I mean, I know I got it.
Hey,
Don't
you got
forget
sandwich
about
now.
me.
You got sandwich.
Thought I was Moni in the middle. And shit.
They didn't even take you out to dinner or anything, man.
Well, do you want to try a shot?
No, I'm scared.
Oh, you want to do some eardrops?
Nah, I'll wait till afterwards. I'm
Okay.
still high from out there in the powwows. Try not to mix the grains. Stay on a steady carpet flow ride.
I was trying to get Tommy Chong here. He's one of my patients.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Was
Really?
he was doing the capsules, right?
He was doing capsules. He did Rick Simpson suppositories.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't work out so well with him. It actually blew his colon cancer up and made his colon cancer really bad.
Really?
Oh, really?
And then, you know, I saw him at Whole Foods one day, and I said, "Hey, Tommy, do you know me?" And he goes, "Are you somebody famous I should know you?" And I said, "Well, actually, you should know me because you have cancer, and I have the medicine that's going to cure you." And he was like, "How much does it cost?" And I said, "I'm not going to charge you anything." He was like, "Well, I'm not used to that. Everybody wants to charge me 10 grand. I don't know why. It's all 10 grand." I go, well, that's because you're Tommy Chong.
Joe Kush would be like, "Here, man, let me put my food stamp card on it."
Okay.
He'll be like, "What?"
All right.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. It's just, it's kind of sad that they have to jack the price up like that on it.
Okay.
We got a caller, so
Okay.
Do I have to take this call? Or Breaker can do it?
Oh, this is a caller calling it?
Yes.
Oh, it's live. Oh, I didn't know we were live.
you know we were live.
He thought we were
No,
just
man,
sitting
I
here
thought it was
listening.
Memorex.
Oh, play back later?
Speaker.
I did. They weren't on the phone anymore.
Okay. I guess they didn't want to talk.
Okay,
It says call back.
so back to the doctor here.
Go back to the doctor.
Well, I got a question for the
Okay,
doctor.
he's got the question.
So, doctor, the people that have cancer, basically, they go to the hospital and all that, and they want them to do.
They are on there.
Oh, that was just our cartoon. Oh, there it goes. Go ahead, and pick it up, and just hit speaker.
Hello?
Hello, how you guys doing up there, man?
All right, what's
Hey, who's this? State your business. Who's this?
You guys call me, who's this?
Sounds like Angel Baby.
Well, you.
Baby, you smoking too much, You gotta stay in the parking lot, oh.
See? I told you. The weed be letting you know.
You guys already picked up a name, the parking lot guys. Hey, this is Mario calling from the Morongo Indian Reservation. How you doing, Danny? How you
Wow.
doing up there?
Danny's way in the back. Yeah. How you doing, Mario?
All right, how you guys doing up there, man? All right. Just right here, man. Great show, you guys. Good show tonight, man. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Hey,
a lot.
all right.
I hope I made you laugh. I was laughing.
Yeah, a little bit. I was laughing, yeah.
Yeah, we're just trying to share a little bit of knowledge about the medicine that we work with, and you know, there's a lot of different companies out there that are just trying to make a lot of money off of medicine, and that's not the reason why Creator provided this to us. It was created so that we could share it, you know, and with a little bit of science, you know, we can take a medicine that Creator provided to us and make it better. And
Evolution, baby, evolution.
Up here where I live, you know, like I said, I live on the Morongo Indian Reservation, you know, man. I see and hear a lot of that, you know what I mean? Yeah, what you were saying today.
Yes.
You know, this is Dr. Wong speaking, and I have to admit, Chris is a very altruistic person, very unselfish, very giving, and we need people like him. And that's one reason why I decided to partner with him, because I see his vision and the value that he brings to humanity, and I really think it's very important, and I really hope we can go far with it.
Yeah, it sounds really great.
Well, we've treated about 35,000 patients. You know, native people recognize animals the same, you know, spirits as humans, and so my patients, you know, are comprised of, you know, monkeys, dogs, rats, you know, horses, donkeys, an elephant, a Bengal tiger, let's see, a bunch of, you know, elders off the Navajo's res starting back in 1994, and I started volunteering out there, and you know, mostly in Kayenta, and you know, in Chinle. My friend Sydney, who's outside right now, I basically you know, met him through I had a lot of you know, elders that were my, you know, my friends, my teachers, you know, my spiritual teachers. Grandfather Semu Huate, he was the medicine chief for the Chumash, and then Henry Crow Dog, Leonard Crow Dog's father, he was in a way like a uncle father in a way. And my father and Henry were good friends. My father and Leonard were not good friends, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's just life, you know. And
that's some good stuff you got there.
Yeah, and my best friend was Lincoln Tritt. He was the chief of the Gwich'in from Arctic Village, Alaska, the most traditional Native American people.
Yeah, you mean, I didn't catch the whole show because the internet kept breathing on me, but hopefully I caught the basics, you know what I mean? But like I said, I called to say hi, you guys, and
that was Danny. He dropped the joint.
Yeah, great.
You have
great
to
show,
forgive
man.
us.
I mean, like I said, my internet kept freezing up, but I kind of caught it, you know what I mean? But like I said, I called to say hi, you guys. Great show, man. We'll be tuning in next week también. Gracias.
Hey, Mario, we're going to be having you on pretty soon, okay?
All right, man. Just give me the call, Danny. Yeah, man. We'll get together.
Yeah, we're going to have all kinds of jokes, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm putting a paper together, like you said. You know what I mean?
So, when I gave you the autograph of my CD, did that take care of the problem?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it did. I mean, I don't want to go there, but you're asking me, yeah, man. I woke up with a smile and no pimples.
Explain to everybody what happened. What happened with us?
Hey, well, it's like this, guys. You know what I mean? On Angel Baby radio station, you know what I mean? Sunday Fun Day, Danny was giving away a couple CDs, you know what I mean, to the 13th caller, you know what I mean? So I was number 13. You know what I mean? I usually try to get a prize once a month, you know what I mean? I listen to the show all the time.
No, Mario, it's every week, Mario.
All right, every week I win. All right.
Okay, every week you win.
Hey, Mario, let me ask you, because you're out on Morongo, do you know Anashaga Washigi, the elder that his name's Light Across the Sky?
You know what? I probably do, because I know a lot of the elders, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? I could say yeah, but do you know his real name?
Jesse, No, it's Jesse. It's Jesse Martinez.
Is that a lady?
No.
Hey, do you know Chewy from La Puente?
When I met him, I thought he was a lady. Yeah, when I met him, I was like coming down from Peyote.
Hey, did you say La Puente in the background?
I said, hey, you know Chewy from La Puente?
Oh, hey, you know what? As a matter of fact, I was raised in La Puente, huh?
Yeah, me too. I lived out there from East LA all the way to San Gabriel right there in La Puente.
Yeah, man, I went to Nogales High School.
Nogales. I went to Nogales, but it was a continuation.
You went to Santana, Holmes. That's
Nah, it was right there off of Amar and Willow. Amar and Willow.
Oh, you went to the La Puente Adult School. You didn't go to continuation?
No, back then it was called Nogales.
No, Nogales.
No, Nueva Vista. My bad. It was Nueva Vista.
Anyway,
Yeah.
hey, that'll be another show.
Hey, that'll be another
But
powwow.
I want to hear the story. I want to hear the story.
I was saying, I wanted the CD on the radio, you know what I mean? And then Angel Baby said, hey, Danny's going to send it to you. He's going to sign it. And I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? I'm all happy. I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. You know, I'm chasing the mailman. You know what I mean? And finally, I get the package in the mail. So I'm like, all right. So, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be like a love CD, right? You know what I mean? You get the wife in the mood. And, so, hey, check this out.
It was
man.
Sade.
I went in, I bought me 2 brand new crystal champagne glasses. I bought me a nice bottle of red wine. I pulled out my Hugh Hefner pajamas.
Hey. Pull out the peace pipe, homie.
And I gave my wife the CD, and I said, babe, look at this CD right here, specially autographed to us. She opens it, and Danny did it, signed it, man. She threw it back at me and went to bed.
He cock blocked you from far away.
He cock blocked you from far away.
He straight cock blocked you.
Hey, so I'm chasing Danny for 2 months, man. And the bottle of wine is in the refrigerator. My glasses are all dusted.
The welcome mat's been pulled out.
I gotta take my pajamas to the cleaners. Hey, but
send him the bill.
Finally I tracked him down at the park a couple of weeks ago, and he signed it. I showed her. Hey, if you don't got that CD to make love, you better get it, because Danny will sign it, and it does work. It does work.
And turn that frown upside down.
Oh, man, you know what? Hey, my Hugh Hefner pajamas were all wrinkled, and oh, my God. I really want to get into that'll be another show. Huh?
That'll be a Halloween live show. We'll all come in here naked with socks on our shit. Be like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hey, but you guys have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon, Danny. Give me a
Okay,
call.
Mario. Okay, thank you.
How's it going, brother?
Thank you, man.
All right, Carnal.
All right, man. Somebody just hang the phone up. So, doctor, where we're going. So the hospitals with the patients with the cancer, so they give them the radiation, chemo, all that kind of stuff. So then they don't want to deal with them, and some people don't want chemo and radiation and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
So what I'm saying is, well, my question is it they won't return the calls and stuff like that. So why don't they care about their patients? Is it just about the money? Is that why they quit returning the calls, because of cannabis? Because people are using cannabis, and basically it's about the money instead of them doing whatever.
Danny, I don't think I quite understand your question. Returning the calls, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Well, basically, they want the patient to do chemo.
Okay.
Radiation.
I gotcha. And then what you're saying is some patients are looking to opt out, doing other alternative therapy. Is that what
Can
you're
they
saying?
give that to us? Like,
What's that?
can doctors actually prescribe, okay, we're not going to do chemo, we're going to let you go this way, cannabis?
They don't want to deal. They want the patients to do the chemo and the radiation instead of doing cannabis to save their lives, basically.
You know what? That's a very good question, Danny, and I'll try my best to answer as best I can. First of all, you're dealing with a medical profession that they have to follow certain guidelines and procedures. So
They've been put there in stone, pretty much.
it could affect their practice. So they don't want to act out of the norm. In other words, they want to stay within a narrow parameter, or like within a railroad track, so to speak. You know, don't veer to the left, don't veer to the right. Otherwise, they get judged by their peers. They think that you guys are a bunch of quacks, or you're not practicing protocol.
So basically, there's just not
So-
enough of you out there for them to start giving you more recognition to what your approach is.
There's not that much doctors that are willing to step out of the left of the track or to the right.
Because of the
you
fear
know.
of the-
The fear, yeah. They may get ostracized by their own colleagues.
Basically, like shunned in a sense.
Basically, you know, they've been trained many years in medical school, and then trained outside of medical school, and all of a sudden, it's like a religion. If you're not practicing this religion the way it is, we're going to ostracize you. So
Not
that's
with this.
right.
against us,
So
basically.
that's why some doctors are afraid to do that. Now there are other doctors who are willing to say, you know what, I'm willing to step to the left or to the right of the railroad track because I think it's best for my patient.
Can they actually strip you of your medical practice to be able to do it because you do step out of the norm like that?
They,
Can
well,
they strip you
it's
from
really
that?
hard to say.
Do they have the power to do that?
The medical establishment is very, very strong. But at the same time, you know, if you follow was the Hippocratic
Yeah.
oath, you know, do what you can not to harm a patient, you know, they're practicing something that is really what they should do in the first place. So
I like what you said. Could you repeat that? Not to hurt the patient type thing you were saying?
Yeah, the Hippocratic oath is, you know, to heal
do
and
no
treat the
harm.
patient, to do no harm.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So that's like basically that you're
right,
sworn
so-
an oath then.
Right, and if they have that good intention, you know, if they step to the left or to the right and say, you know, I'm going to try this alternative therapy, you know, I think...
Because nothing else is really working, so.
Right, that's a very good point.
There's
Nothing
like,
else
here's an
working.
option for you then.
Right,
you know,
right.
And go from there. Basically, that's probably how you're getting your test done then. By having the approval of the person that, hey, look, you want to go down this road? Because we've tried everything else, nothing's working, what do you got to lose? Basically.
Right, and what I like seeing is that, and I see in Chris's practice, is he tries to continue on with the path of where they're at using chemotherapy, but he tries to implement his therapy, but by combining the two together, he's able to reduce the amount of chemotherapy exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So, like what we were talking outside, instead of going through like 9, 10, or a dozen treatments, he's able to cut down to maybe 10% of that,
Yeah.
and so get good positive results. I think doctors are coming around to this. They see the
Because of the
value.
results.
The results.
There's
Right,
all your
they're seeing
tests
it.
and studies, your proofs, because
Yeah.
it's scientific, and they're not going to believe me until you come up with some facts, some hard evidence, right?
Right,
And to
right.
because it's like that's the only way you're going to make me look at you and say, you know, hey, you know, these guys got too much facts now. We have to start paying attention to this now.
Absolutely. That's why Chris and I were looking to collaborate together and work on a grant program, because by doing this and by showing in documented studies,
Yeah.
doctors are very fact orientated. They'll act on facts. You know, they don't act on guts. So
Yeah.
if they see the facts coming in, hey, we're seeing better recovery rates on patients. We're seeing reduction in chemotherapy.
And you
We're
have
seeing
all the
positive
reports of
results.
it, the studies and everything.
Yeah, and then I think by doing that, we can educate them, and they can eventually embrace cannabis.
You know what it is? Those dudes just need to
Yeah.
get old and die, and then the new generation comes in, and the board's been straightened out.
Well, you know, another.
These motherfuckers don't want to die, man. They're like, we set the rules. You can't have nothing. No We're up there 100 and something years old, man, with canes going fucking on oxygen. We ain't letting them have it. But yeah, that's just kind of how Stoner Vision looks at it.
You know, another thing, the FDA has actually never approved chemotherapy because the base of chemotherapy is mustard gas.
Yeah.
And I must,
We were
you
dropping
know,
in the war, wasn't
that's
it?
right. It was during World War I and World War II. And so they have these stockpiles of mustard gas, you know, material left over. It's actually not a
So
gas,
that's
it's
true.
solid.
That's true. It's mustard gas.
Yes, sir.
Really?
It's,
Wow.
They didn't even find a study till they started bringing some of them dudes in, huh?
That's
And
right.
saying that it was, I guess it basically just wipes all your cells out, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they were treating cancer patients in Japan in 1942, and you know, and we got, you know, some of that information, you know, through, you know, medical journals. You know, even though we're in a war, you know, there's still medical science getting spread around, and doctors, were sharing, their medical science with other countries.
Now, here's what gets me, and for you people out there that don't know what the hell we're talking about, the government's allowing poison for people that have cancer to help you, and it's not a guarantee that it's going to save you. But yet, here we have cannabis oil here. It's not a poison. It's not what this is, a lethal,
No.
basically. And we're letting this go through, but we're not letting this. This is where I'm like, was I brought up wrong, or was I on a?
Well,
did I get dropped somewhere? Because
I'm
does that
not
make sense?
I'm not against chemotherapy.
Yeah, it
but-
does work. It does help
Yeah,
to a certain point.
It does. What the problem is? What the problem is the AMA won't allow, they don't want to allow cannabis to be, influencing the chemotherapy because what's happening is, they traditionally, will want to give you 8 rounds of chemo for stage 1, cancer, and or you might have stage, 1A, like
Let me
double
ask you this.
negative.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Which one costs more?
Oh my God.
Does
Chemotherapy.
Is it more costlier insurance-wise versus cannabis?
Yes.
To be treated?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely. Well, what
no
you know,
comment.
chemotherapy represents a $3.3 trillion industry a
So
year.
if cannabis is threatening that, which it sounds
That's right.
like.
Well, it is.
They're not trying to let that go full metal jacket yet.
When I've been selling my medicine to doctors in the States and outside the States, but the doctors, I can't ever mention their names on the air
But the
because
people are getting more educational about it, am I right? I mean, they're coming out. I mean, I bet people that don't know anything about this industry whatsoever, and they'll come to me, Joe, I know you're about that. So, and they'll inbox me because they don't want to be known that, hey, I'm searching through cannabis to help me with my problems I'm going through. And I'm just like baffled, like, man, these are people are actually, they were skeptical, are now being educational about it and want to know about it and are willing to, they're willing to go forward with this. It's kind of cool to see how this is evolving to now from when I was growing up and when you guys were growing up, same thing. To get to where we're at now, to where we're at the board now going, look, it's on the table now. I mean, we're right here on camera with it. But it's kind of cool to see how this all evolved now. And now it's being educational. It's showing that it has proven factors of, helping you out in a lot of different ways.
yeah, we're really just wanting to educate doctors and patients.
Yeah.
Because the more people that learn, how accessible, how easily, accessible this medicine can be, is really important. It's really important for us to teach the doctors to know how this is actually going to help their patient because most doctors, want to help their patients.
Do you guys work with each other like on this? Or do you do your research off of his creation of medicine?
We're
cooperate together.
Oh, you guys work together?
Yes.
So
yeah.
Hey, Joe, where you been? He's already been talking about this, man.
Yeah, we're
See, you wanted me to shoot up some of that.
Dr. Wong and myself are about to
But I mean,
change.
They're collaborating.
Do you guys do
Yeah.
this, your study, your graphs, or what you point out is based off his medicine? Is what,
We're going to get more involved with it. And one thing that I mentioned earlier, Chris and I are trying to apply for a grant where we can get some sort of funding that will help our research, get more patients on board to treat them, and also to help them financially because some cannot afford it. So that would be
I see what you're saying.
some of the costs. But more importantly, we'll be able to
Now you better do the research.
the medical community that, hey, this is something that you got to look at it and try it because we think it works.
and you have the data to prove it.
Right. That's what we're trying to do. The pharmaceutical industry, the drug industry is a multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Does cannabis affect that in some way, like
Oh,
put
it
enough
does.
fear with it?
It really does because what you're seeing is a natural product that they can't patent. They can't make money off of it,
Yeah.
but yet it works.
That's true. And I heard that.
And that's why doctors are I don't want to say that, but they're paid and bought.
Yeah.
They're paid to give lectures about this pharmaceutical product. They're paid to promote it. Even though the government tries to minimize any kind of collusion or kickback, it's still done in the back scenes.
Yes.
So you're looking at a establishment, and I don't know about bad about it, good things too. But it is a multi-trillion-dollar business. And when you have some like cannabinoids that have some positive clinical effects in tree cancer, they get worried. Because it's going to affect the bottom line.
Has there been like a memo of some sort that has come out and says, for you that should try to go that way? You can't just drink lots of things.
Huh? Well, you'll find lab studies where pharmaceutical companies will
These are patient.
try to slant in a certain direction. I mean, not all lab tests
So slanting, you're basically slanting.
colorblind.
His body's about to shut down.
You can hire a lab team to kind of slant data in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So they can maybe hire a team and say, well, show that our product is better than CBD. You can slant it. So when you have money, you can do anything.
Yeah, and that's true, and that is true.
So we have a patient with Chris, is working with Chris, right?
Here, get up here.
Hi, I'm Jay. Nice to meet everybody. We all have a story. That's why we're here. And I guess I got mine. I was young once, like we all were.
I don't remember.
And I am old enough that when I was young, it was the late 60s. I went through high school in the late 60s, and I got kind of taken away by the dream that that era was. And I was experimental with the fashionable drugs of the time. I was never an addict, and luckily I was never an alcoholic. But I tried some of the more high-end stuff in that era, just as experimental. I put a needle in my vein. It was only a few times I did it, but you do that and you run the risk. Do it even once. I got hepatitis. It was hepatitis C, and it was a long saga surviving it. I walked out of the VA hospital 5 times with them telling me that my liver was failing. And really just through good eating, healthy eating, and living just a normal, clean lifestyle, I got lucky and got over those obstacles. Long enough that I was fortunate that the VA allowed me to get on the Harvoni, which 2 months of that pretty much took out the hepatitis C virus. I'm now non-detectable. I'm not contagious anymore, but admittedly, it only took me back about 50%. It certainly took me out of a tailspin. I was starting to drop, and it pulled me out. It took me about 50% back. I was still getting bumps in the road. There were still bumps in the road. I would get sick a little bit still. And then I started trying the CBD oil. And I've been doing the injections every 5 days for a little over a couple months now. And honestly, I wasn't sure at first. Everybody, you get in our position, you'll try anything.
Exactly.
And it really helped me. I can't express how it took so much of the daily illness out. It followed up the Harvoni. And that was actually a plan I had from the beginning, to start with the Harvoni, nail that bugger inside of me, and then go with the CBD oil and really start to get a life back. And I wake up in the morning not sick now.
So your numbers came up too with your kidneys and liver. Did your numbers come up from that?
No. If you mean like the levels of damage to the liver that they register with through your blood tests,
Yeah.
etc., no, they remained non-detectable, quite low. But what I'm suffering is kind of leftover liver damage. And the Harvoni is, I'm not a medical professional, I can't really speak for anything, but from what I gather on the internet, what I've read and followed up in my own studies, is that the medical people are not sure of a turnaround with long-term liver disease once you get the Hep C virus out of you. They say you got about a year or two window, and you either going to turn around or you're not. And a lot of times it comes to the more moderate liver disease cases. I was a stage 2 out of stage 4 fibrosis of the liver. Of course, stage 4 is cirrhosis, and I did not make it to there. Halfway, and I've come back 60%, I would say. And I'm very happy about that. Of course, we all want to come back 100. We all want to be normal. I'm getting closer to that. Each month goes by, I have simply more freedom. It's the only way I can put it. And the injections are very easy to take. They don't hurt at all. At least they don't hurt me. And I'm very happy with it. And I look forward to spreading the word on this stuff as much as I possibly can.
Right on, right on.
Would you be interested in showing the audience how you inject yourself?
Well, I could do that. I wouldn't mind at all. It's if you want to see part of my bare rump on camera, that's kind of how I do it. But I did take.
Did you say show his knuckles?
I did take an injection just yesterday.
What does rump mean?
Butt.
Oh,
Your ass.
Oh, I thought
Your
it was your
donkey
left
kick out.
nut.
Your ass, Danny.
Your donkey kick out.
So actually, I
I
would
don't
do
think they
it.
want to see his ass. They don't want to see mine either.
But I'm not due for an injection.
You're not?
No.
Oh.
I'm filled up. My gas tank is on full.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd be
All right.
honored to do it.
All
Not
right.
a problem.
Well, this is what you get for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much. Marvelous.
Nice.
Really
I got me a
appreciate
sample too.
it. Thank you, everybody.
It's good to meet you,
I
sir.
would be honored to answer any questions if anybody has anything at all. I was very fortunate not to go the road of cancer. Liver disease is no fun ride. It's a lot of illness and pain and weakness, and you can't. In my case, I couldn't even use my muscles. I couldn't flex. I couldn't lift.
I got a question. Is this hepatitis C,
Yes.
is that non-curable?
Well,
It's supposed to be, from what they say.
it's
If I'm not mistaken.
until the type of drugs, the Harvoni and the others similar to those, it was non-curable. You either survived or you didn't. And a lot of times it really comes down to the individual and
Your
their
genes,
genetic makeup, yes.
Your genes.
Yeah. But now people like myself have a fighting chance with the Harvoni. I know that it's very expensive, but being a vet, I was given it. So through the VA. So I'm very thankful to them also.
Well, congratulations to you,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Nice meeting everybody, and good
That's
luck.
right, that's right.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank
for
you.
your service.
All righty.
You have a good one, brother.
Thanks, Jay.
We're gonna go into a little break, and we're gonna come back, and DJ Breaker's gonna play some music, and we're gonna have some more guests. And here we go. Take it away, DJ.
All right, talk a little bit more. Tell them what station to listen to, man.
Internet City Live with DJ Breaker and Danny Alcarez.
And we got Joe Cush in the house today
Joe
as well.
Cush.
Joe Cush.
And he's a very
That
good
was an
referee.
interesting topic.
Yeah, it's always a good time when Joe Cush
I
is
felt
here.
like Frank the Tank. You ever seen that movie? And he was debating, and he was just winning the zone, and he just came out. He's like, "What just happened?" That's how I pretty much feel right now. I don't even know where that educational came up.
Roll another blunt. Yeah. Oh, good. La da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da da da. Yeah. I was gonna clean my room until I got high. I was gonna get up and find the broom, but then I got high. My room is still messed up, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, hey, cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. La da 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 da. I was gonna go to class before I got high. Come on, y'all. Check it out. I could've cheated and I could've passed, but I got high. La da. I'm taking it next semester, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, hey, cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. Go to the next. Go to the next. Go to the next. I was gonna go to court before I got high. I was gonna pay my child support, but then I got high. No, you wasn't. They took my whole paycheck, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, hey, cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. La da 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 da. I wasn't gonna run from the cops, but I was high. I'm serious, man. I was gonna pull right over and stop, but I was high. La da da. Now I'm a paraplegic, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, hey, cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. La da 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 da. I was gonna make love to you, but then I got high. I'm serious. I was gonna eat your pussy too, but then I got high. Now I'm jacking off, and I know why. Turn this shit off. Yeah, hey, because I got high. Keep going. Because I got high. Hey, do that over, because man. I got high. Come on, man. Come on. Go. I messed up my entire life because I got high. Go. I lost my kids and wife because I got high. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Now I'm sleeping on the sidewalk, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, hey, cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. La da 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 da. I'ma stop singing this song because I'm high. Baby, I'm singing this whole thing wrong because I'm high. Bring it back. Bring it back. And if I don't sell one copy, I'll know why. Why, man? Yeah, hey, cause I'm high. Cause I'm high. Cause I'm high. Are you really high though, man? He really is high, man. Shoop, shoop, shooby doo wah. Get jiggy with it. Skippity bee bop. Oh, bring it back, bring it back.
Ass, 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 ass. Stop. Now make that motherfucker hammer time like. Go stupid, go stupid, go stupid. I do it, boy, do it, boy, do it. Wobble dee wobble. I'm stacking my paper. My wallet look like a Bible. I got girlies half naked. That shit look like the grotto. How your waist anorexic and then your ass is colossal. Like whoop. Drop that ass, make it boomerang. Take my belt off. Bitch, I'm Pootie Tang, tippy towel, tippy tay. You gon' get a tip today. Fuck that, you gon' get some dick today. I walk in with my crew and I'm breaking their necks. I'm looking all good, I'm making her wet. They pay me respect, they pay me in checks. And if she look good, she pay me in sex. Do it, bounce that ass. It's the roundest. You the best, you deserve a crown, bitch. Right on the ass, 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 ass. Stop. Now make that motherfucker hammer time like. Go stupid, so stupid. Don't go, do it. Okay, stop. Drop it. You got everybody in here, oh my gosh. Bad bitches, I'm your dada. White girls go gaga. When it sticks out, they bust it open like the yayas of pinata. Bitch, look down. Tell me what's up. Girl, you talk too much. Shut up. I got that mad dick, you know it always nut up. And it got an attitude, no wonder why I stuck up. Pop it, then backflip, your gymnastics got me ecstatic. Your whole crew look like a pageant. I'm dropping cash tip and some taxes. Woo! Do it. Girl, you got me about to pass out. I'm wondering if Cupid gave you ass shots. Cause I'm in love with that ass. Stop it. Now make that motherfucker hammer time like
Should've saw the way she looked me in my eyes. She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge, all my friends are dead. Push me to the edge, all my friends are dead. Push me to the edge, all my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. Phantom, that's alright. Inside all white, like something you ride a sled down. I just want my bracelet, I'm mad. Her bracelet, her man now. Everybody got the same sweat now. All the way that I check now. Stacking my bands all the way to the top, all the way to my back falling over. Every time that you leave your spot, your girlfriend call me like, come on over. I like the way that she treat me, gon' leave you, won't leave me. I call it that Casanova. She like, I'm insane, I wanna blow my brain out. Johnny on the way out. Please, Johnny, make it go away. I'm committed, not addicted, but it keep controlling me. I don't pain, I can feel it, I swear that it's slowing me. Yeah.
Untouchable, uncrushable. Run it in a 600. Run it in a 600.
Yeah. I drops every blue moon to separate myself from you kings of the YouTube. I am more YouTube. I am like Bono with the edge. In Mexico, fuck Donald and his pledge. Legend has it, the wrist is magic, the left is Paddock for leaps, replaced by Matuisa. Ignore most requests for the feature, unless it's getting played on the beach in Ibiza. While she fucking Nisha, and she sucking Shisha. Can't you see my total? Pam, Kima, Keisha. I'm aiming for the moguls. Why y'all niggas aiming at the locals? And rap niggas broke like them, they mere hopeful. Still wishing on a star. The last one to find out that baby on the cars. The final trilogy of Jaws. Reels like interior goals. It feels like still what? Match your phony. African on me. They tryna put traffic on me like man on Tony.
Get up all in ya. We can hear the angels calling us. We can see the sunrise before us. And when I'm in that thing, I make that body say, you know what I mean?
Like a cop car.
I make you say,
throwing the buck in the latest drop. I got stopped by a lady cop. She got me thinking I could date a cop. Cause her uniform pants were so tight. She read me my rights. She put me in a call. She cut off all the lights. She said I have the right to remain silent. Now I gotta holler, sounding like a siren. Talking about and I know she the law, and she know I'm the ball, and she know I get high, above the law, and she know I'm raw, she know I'm from the street, and all she want me to do is fuck the police. Talking about
when I get up all in ya, we can hear the angels calling us. We can see the sunrise before us, and when I'm in that thing, everybody say, I make you say,
Yeah. Like a cop. Yeah. Hey.
I make you say.
And after we got done, I said, lady, what's your number? She said 911. Emergency only. Head doctor perform surgery on me. Yeah, and now I'm healed. I make her wear nothing but handcuffs and heels. Then I beat it like a cop. Rodney King, baby, yeah, I beat it like a cop. Beat it like a cop. Rodney King, baby, said I beat it like a cop. But I ain't trying to be violent, but I do the time, but the hurt love is timeless. Mrs. Officer, I know you wish your name was Mrs. Calder,
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Dialing $4 is trying to find me. I wait for delivery each day until 3. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down. Prove that you love me and buy the next round. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Everybody, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes?
It's DJ Breaker. I am excited.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we climb. The street
We're back. This is Denny Alcrest with Native Medicine Man, Medicine Show. Am I right?
Get it right, Danny. Get it right.
Get it right. With DJ Breaker.
That's right. That's right.
So who do we got in here, Chris?
This is Sidney Newton. Sidney Newton is 100. He's 4/4 of 4/4 Dene, Navajo.
Welcome. How you doing there?
Yate Sidney Newton she tut that na she she in shle do she betaninja she the kite net and let without bonds and without questions. Well, I just introduced myself in my native language, as Sidney Newton, and I was born for the Salt clan, and my dad was born for the Undercover clan. That's how I interpret what I said. So that's how I introduced myself in my language. But thank you.
And then this farther to my left is Dr. Roger Wong, compounding pharmacist, and we work together. And Sydney's gonna do a prayer song in Dene.
Okay, I'm gonna sing this song in the Nick Etchigo, the Net language, and I brought my the eagle fan here of the tail of the bald eagle here, and this is all natural medicine, and the this natural these arrowheads, like their protection, people carry them or put it in their houses, to bring the positive spirit, and that's why I brought the sage here too, to represent the symbolic symbol. But these is made of obsidian, so that's why I brought these natural medicine. I'll sing this in Navajo, Adnekechko, and I brought this drum, to bring the spirit of the animal back, to life. Shetka, shetka, shetzega, shile, ayo, shetka, shetka, shetzega, shile, ayo, shetka, shetka, etche, setze, shetzega, shile, Shetka, hajona khotole shitka hojona dole shitka hojona do ayo 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 shitka hojona do ayo 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 ne we ne hokas hajona khotole ayo shitka hojona dole shitka hojona do ayo 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 ayo. So in that way, I pray in the four directions. I brought this tobacco too to represent, offering, to the earth. So I pray that way, the four direction. Shitka hojona do late. Like I pray, Creator, for our babies that are born into this world and comes through the womb, from hardship and then sadness, beauty. So I pray that way, that language, the nekache, the people's language, don't belong to us, it belongs to the people. So I pray that way, and I pray that with the medicine, the healing, whatever, the peyote, the natural, elements, the plants, the healing of, the cannabis that heals people, and the peyote, that tea, that heals people, all the herbs that we use. And, sometimes they say it's not legal, but, that's another story. So, but everything we do is, it's legal. That Creator, allows us to pray this way. So that's how I pray to use this drum too. I'm using this at ceremonies, and I use it daily to live my life. I pray to Creator with it. Mahomedakiasi, Vajanasli, Vajanasli, Vajanasli. It's beautiful again. It's beautiful again. It's beautiful again. That language means Vajanasli. It's beautiful again. That's how I say my language. This is how I talk to you. The best way I know to connect the earth to my feet and to my mouth, my heart to speak. Oh, yes.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
Danny speechless.
I am. That was really, really something.
Yeah.
The peace pipes, did they put cannabis in the peace pipes back in the Indian days?
Yeah. Back, they more or less probably put these cannabis or
peyote.
Tobacco. Yeah. So it's called a chinupa, pipe. But most of the time they put tobacco in it, and they use it at ceremonies. It represents the man and the woman and the universe. When it's connected, it's when life is formed. It's what that pipe represents. They call it peace pipe, but it is. It represents something peaceful. Because Native Americans or American Indians, I just say the neck. That's what I say. I'm the neck because of the people. When people say, who are you? I say, oh, I'm the neck. Everything I say, I try to connect with my people. That way, language. So some people say American or, whatever language, Hispanic. We all bleed red though. We're all brothers. We all have the same blood. So that's why I pray that way. I've been walking this road since I came into the world. But it's good that we're allowed to say what we say in this country. Some other countries we can't speak what we say. So the doctors, that's thanks for bringing that up. But the pipe, the chinupa. But
I always wondered about that.
Yeah.
And there's also the, when the chanupa is not being used, it's separated. So the man and the woman's body is separated, and then when they come together, they put the chanupa, the male and the female, together, and then we bring the chanupa, into the ceremony.
So, the Indian days, did they believe in higher power? Did they believe in God?
Creator is higher power.
Creator. Fascinating.
There's Tungshla, and and there's Shungtawakan. You know, Shungtawakan it would be creator, the great spirit, and Tankashla is like Jesus. But we usually call him by his real name, which is Yeshua.
So that was way back in the day. Is Joshua? Is that what you said?
Yeshua.
Yeshua.
That was his Hebrew name.
So thousands of years ago?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Actually, the Cherokee language and Hebrew cross over about 50%. You know, the Cherokee are considered the lost tribe of Israel, but I think the Hebrew are actually the lost tribe of the Cherokee.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you from? Navajo.
Well, I guess I'm from two different areas. I help the Lakota people as well as with the Net people. When you guys talk about the Chinoopa song, this is the way I could really, because we help each other. With other tribes. We don't really fight among each other. We help each other. We need singers come down. We help them, and we can sing it in their language as well as in ours. Because that's how we understand each other. Through our language. It's important that we keep our language because our language has also helped win the war. World War II, the Nakachi, the Japanese.
That's right, huh? That's right, huh?
Yeah, so in that way, that's how powerful that language is. So this next song, I'll sing, and it's like you said, it's the Chinoopa, the Changyashkale, the Lakota says, the medicine, Yeah, 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 oh, yeah, yeah, Chana Bakele Chela Wakacha. You ha cheke ayo, ayo, Changlish kakele wakacha, cheke ayo, ayo, Chano pakele chela wakacha, you ha cheke ayo, ayo, Changlish kakele wakacha. J-K-I-O, Chano Bakele Chela Wakacha, you ha J-K-I-O, Changlish Kakele Wakacha, J-K-I-O, yeah, but that's the pipe, Changyashkale, the medicine, it's a pipe. Thank you to the creator, for allowing us to carry that, the pipe. Chekiyo, always pray. And that's the language, that Lakota language, Changyashkale, the medicine, the water, that keeps, us living in strong, powerful medicine water. When I went on that Chinook, Humblecha, Vision Quest, 4 days, out there, sacrifice, just took my medicine, pray out there on the, on the mountain hill, with my pipe and my drum, pray to Creator for blessings, and I pray for my family in that way. I sacrifice. No food, no water, so I understand that part about the water. It's powerful medicine, because once you drink that water, it's like I don't have any problems, it makes me humble. So that's where I'm from, Farmington, New Mexico. But from consider like with Orville and those guys, I like helping Orville. He takes care of the original Chinoopa.
That's Orville Looking Horse.
Yeah, Orville.
Chief.
Guy. But he's got a lot of knowledge, and he's a chief too. He's up there in Greengrass, invited me to his property to, share teachings like we're talking here. Because all these are like teachings for the seventh generation, for my kids, your kids, everyone's kids, so we could live and connect as one mind, one body, one spirit, and we won't fight among each other. And, it's like life is a struggle, but it's that's how we're used to it. We accept it. That's why we go through the 4 seasons. We prepare. We grow food all summer long. Then we prepare for the winter time. We store stuff away. That way, that's the way I was taught. And the neck at you without shikayan tinde she shamas and those she without yishtinde. Without me, as it's free got and then she's in there. But they have got the list. The general go got the list. It's free. Without can if it's gone and catch you just hit the list. He said, yeah, learn the white man's language. Learn their ways, but just use it to survive. Don't get greedy. Just use the money to buy food and get through the next season. So that's how I live. I just live that way.
How did you guys come together?
Oh, we met in a coffee shop.
Really?
Yeah, in Venice.
Really?
Yeah, he was sitting in there, and actually my spiritual teacher had just died, Lincoln Tritt, and Lincoln told me my next teacher would be Dene, and I was kind of crying because Lincoln and I was his driver for 25 years. Every time he came down from Arctic Village, I was his driver, bodyguard, and he was the most traditional chief. He was the most traditional teacher, spiritual teacher in North America. Actually, the most traditional Native American spiritual teacher, period. And Arctic Village has really nothing, but they have everything. And it's inside the Arctic Circle, about 120 miles north of the Arctic Circle in Alaska. And I was accepted into the clan as Gwich'in, and I met Lincoln on a beach in Big Sur in 1990. We both saw a poster that said traditional Lakota sweat lodge on the beach Friday night, and so I thought to myself, oh, this isn't traditional at all. First of all, there's a poster. So I gotta go check it out. And so Friday I walked down, to the beach in the morning, because if it's a traditional sweat lodge, they start the fire in the morning to purify the stones, so the stones get purified all throughout the entire day. And then whoever, road man, road woman, whoever's leading the sweat will, bring the stones in for all the people. Anyway, he knows better than me.
So what do we know? Well, what do we know about Apaches?
Apaches are part of the Navajo Band tribe. They speak the same language, but maybe a different dialect. Instead of saying like Shamasan, they'll say Tamasan. So they're like, they're all sort of related, to the neck. Mescalero and Mescalero. Yeah, they shake they're like pretty much in the Mexico area, and they're okay people, just like just like the song I'm gonna sing, just like it says.
So I guess I'm okay people because I'm Apache.
All right, yeah. Well, the song's for you and your family, your elders, your grandmother.
I'm Flagstaff, Arizona.
Oh. Right, bingo. Yeah, there's a lot of Navajos right there too. So bingo, I get it. Shamasane do che habenashne ayo. Shamasane do che habenashne ayo. che habinashne olo degena jnago bahojon shiftene ayo ego benina shamasane che habinashne ayo shamasane che habinashne ayo shamasane che habinashne ayo shamasane che habinashne olo degena jnago bahojon shiftene ayo ego benina shamasane che habinashne ayo shamasane che habinashne olo degena jnago bahojon shiftene ayo ego benina shamasane che habinashne ayo. That says Shemasan Dosha Che, grandmother, grandfather, I remember you, the way you taught me how to walk the spiritual road from the red road that runs north to the south. Shemasan Dosha Che, Ego Benina, you taught me these ways. Ego Benina, Habinashne, Shemasan Dosha Che. Shemasan Ego Benina, Habinashne. Taught me these ways, beautiful ways. But yeah, so it's good that you acknowledge your tribe, Apache. So I sing that song.
I feel like I got reincarnated, and I feel like I know that song.
Yeah, that's good. Everything happens for a reason,
Yeah.
and we're here, connected, me and you as as brothers. We're all connected that way. So that's why I travel from the beach over there, from the west coast to here to meet you this way. To learn.
You came from the West Coast to the beach?
Yeah.
You come here today?
Yeah.
Oh, you
We
did,
fought
huh?
Traffic, yeah. Fought traffic for 3 hours straight. The battle. It was a good battle though. Just driving here. A bunch of people. Trying to get in front of you, and it's no big deal.
Sydney's like a missionary. He left Navajo land to come and, teach how to touch yourself, how to reach yourself, how to understand who you are, what life is about.
What do you think, Doc, about the spiritual world? What they're talking about?
That's a pretty deep question. I've never really delved into that, but it's.
So
very
I
interesting.
see you just sitting there and you're tripping out on it, so I'm just wondering what you're thinking.
Well, it's kind of neat how Sydney brings out the creator analogy, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm Christian, so I kind of, I come with a Christian background, but I can see some similarities when he brings out the creator and, the four corners of the earth. I can see some relevance, it's interesting.
It is, huh?
So I can say, yeah. It gives me a great appreciation for his tradition what he goes through.
In Christianity, there's like 10 basic, commandments or laws, and in the Torah and the Quran, there's 2137 in the Quran laws, of sins, and we most Native people that are taught, to understand, how to, honor everything that is around us, everything including, this metal object, that phone, that TV screen, the monitor, the camera, this beautiful sister over here, all my brothers, all my all the creepy crawlers, the ants, the cockroach, the rabbit, the bear, everything on this planet, virtually. We honor everything. And as long as we honor everything, then we honor ourselves.
Breaker, you're Indian, right?
I guess where Mexicans are Aztec,
Yes.
Aztec in Spain, right?
Yes.
So, is that what you are?
Well, I'm Mexican, so you're Mexican too, man.
Yeah, I'm Apache, so I know my.
Oh, okay.
I was just wondering what you were.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my Native American background is, man. Or
So I guess the Aztec is from Mexico, right?
pretty much, yeah.
They traveled.
Yeah, they traveled.
They traveled, very far. They traveled, the Aztec actually traveled all the ways up to, where it was cold, and all the ways to the tip of South America and beyond, And, they're found to, be as far as over as Egypt and North Africa, and then they came back.
Right.
They were travelers. And they brought the mounds, they brought the pyramids, they brought the understanding of building something high so that you can get closer to God or Creator. That's what the whole thing is about the steeple on the top of the churches. They put that steeple up on the top of the church so that it can touch Creator, so that the energy can come down through the temple, and the energy will come into the congregation of all the people that are experiencing, the energy, or experiencing God, in that temple. They believe that that's where it is. I believe that it's us.
So are we speaking like the Tower of Babel? So to speak?
I suppose. I don't know what the Tower of Babel is. I'm not actually Christian, so I didn't ever read the Bible.
Well, the Tower of Babel is when they were trying to reach God and shoot him with arrows, and everybody changed their languages.
Wow.
Pretty deep.
Oh. I think I remember that. I have heard that story.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. That's when all
Right.
languages changed.
Right.
So that's when it all started, basically, in,
Right.
in the Christian, or the Bible, actually.
Right.
So that's a deep subject, but I don't know.
my mother's side of the family, they're Christian, but my mother honored my father, and my father didn't really talk too much about Christianity, because his mother was Lenny Lenape, and they were Hebrew. They accepted Judaism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when the Christians first came, they persecuted the native people, and imprisoned them and shipped them off or killed them, and some of them got eaten. A lot of native people got eaten because the people that came to this new world didn't know anything about how to survive, so they ate what they had to, and unfortunately cannibalism happened.
They still do that today, basically.
Yeah.
They still do it today.
Yeah, I kind of do a little bit of cannibalism on my girlfriend once in a while.
Okay. I'm afraid that's what part.
I can't talk about that. That's the Triple X show.
So, what does the Navajo believe where we go when we leave this earth?
Probably like into another world, like another
dimension.
It's not a bad place, but a place where there's no more pain, or no more emotional, no more physical pain. That way, that's what I believe, because my parents, they're Christians, but they don't they don't judge me of what I believe in. They don't judge me of me believing in the Creator. My parents alcoholics. My mom went to prison, so like through that, they it's like they believe like in the Christianity way, but I don't judge it because me and my parents, we just connect through our spirit. We understand hardship. We go through hardship for a reason because we overcame the battle. That we were dealing with our demons. I call it the negative spirit. To me, a negative spirit is like you can ask it to leave. Like when I got here, I prayed on this property. I walked in, I prayed. I smoked my herb and prayed on this property. When I walked around to ask the negative spirit to leave, so we can have this. This is kind of this ceremony right here. So we have a positive ceremony. So that's how I look at. They say what do you believe in? What's your belief? That's because I'm like my own medicine person. I'm my own healer. I like to make my own decisions. I don't have to go to a preacher or I have to confess. I give my sins or whatever they call it to this Creator, and then the next day it's a new day. It's you're reborn again.
Hallelujah.
I was always curious what a doctor would believe where we go after we leave this earth.
Sorry, what was your question again, Danny?
My question was, I was always curious what a doctor would believe, what he believes or she, where we go after we leave this earth.
Oh, that's a very good question. Being brought up under Christian principles, I believe in heaven. I believe, well, actually, there's two realms, heaven and hell. And we have a choice which way we go. This is really a deep subject. I think I'm underqualified to answer that.
Too much time in the lab.
Yeah.
Well, how does your spirit feel where we go?
How do our spirits?
How does your spirit?
Oh, my spirit.
Your spirit feel where we go?
Well, I mean, my spirit, my belief is based on Christian principle, and I believe that if I accept Jesus Christ as my personal Savior, that I would go to heaven. That's just my perspective. If I accept Jesus Christ, I would go to heaven, and I've pretty much accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Savior. To that end, we're all sinners, basically. It's what I see it. And by accepting Jesus Christ as our personal Savior, he acts as a bridge or connection to God. But like I said, this is really deep.
Chris?
I don't think I'm really qualified.
You did fine, man. You did fine. Chris?
Well, I've been dead a couple times before, and I've left my body. So I've been out there floating around in the spirit world.
That's where I saw you.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I died on the operating table in 2011, and on January the 5th, 2011, and I was out for like about 15 minutes, but that wasn't the longest time ever. I was electrocuted in 96 on August the 12th, 96, and I left my body for more than 25 minutes. And when I was electrocuted, my soul, well, my body
flew backwards into the water, and I literally watched my body fall, down next to the washing machine, and the basement was flooded out, and I was working on an electrical circuit, and my wife turned on the power when I was working on it. I had the power off, and she ran upstairs, and I couldn't hear anything. I mean, once my soul came out of my body, there was no sound. And I did see color, though. A lot of people say that you don't see color, but I did actually see color. They were just muted, and I was definitely confused. I had done, Vision Quest, I'd done, when I was 12 years old, I did peyote, several different times in ceremonies up until I was about 16 years old. And so there, when you go on a very deep, quest, you may leave your body if the roadman decides that he's gonna take you there. So it wasn't something absolutely new for me. I think I was scared but not petrified.
So do we have any more guests that you want to put on?
Yes, I do. I have Rick Lyles, and does Joe want to come on for a minute? Okay, Rick Lyles. Yeah, Rick.
Rick, why don't you watch down here? You can talk to the camera.
Yeah. Rick Rick was my sponsor for the development of this medicine. When after I left the university, there was no more funding, and so that was in 1994, and so Rick stepped up and made sure that I had whatever money I needed to continue doing the research, and so we've had this relationship. He didn't understand it. He just knew I was doing something good, and so he's basically funded me all these years, and now for the first time I put him in the lab working side by side with me, and
So what do you mean by sponsorship?
he put up the money.
I took care of him when he needed help, so we became very good friends. We've known each other probably for about 15, 16 years.
20.
20. But, yeah, I helped him out when he needed help, when he had cancer. He got down to where he was, 135 pounds. He had cancer, and they told him, go home, you don't have much time to live. And he started treating himself with this medication, actually. And I saw him starting to improve, and I thought, wow, he's really got something going here. And I knew he needed help, and so financially I helped him as much as I possibly could, and now we've become partners.
Yep. Because of Rick, I'm alive.
That's
Because
what I was just thinking. He saved your life.
That's right, he did save my life, and actually, because of him, he's going to save millions of lives. I got goosebumps right now. Can you see him? You see this?
We make a good team. We both have the same energy, and I'm 68 years old, and about 13 years older than him, but we have the same energy, and we get in the lab, and we just stay in the lab. We're in a 200 square foot white room.
In the white room with brown curtains. There's no curtains though.
Yeah, we stay there, and we manufacture this medicine.
Yeah.
So you guys' objective is to help people, the world,
help
Or-
humanity, but more than humanity, it's all of this Earth's inhabitants.
Boy, does the world need it.
Yes.
Boy, does the world need it. Especially all the things that are happening today.
You know, people have asked me in the past, well, how do you get paid? I go, well, I don't really care too much for money. That's probably the reason why I always need help from Rick. But the blessing is when people accept it.
And another thing, without the money, it's sad to say, but without the money, we wouldn't have the medicine.
Yeah.
And because we were able to have some money, we were able to create this medicine that we know for a fact helps people cure diseases.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask this odd question, okay? It's going to be biblical. Through Revelations. So, at the end of time, there's going to be famine, bacteria, viruses, the whole 9 yards. My question is, with this cannabis, doctor, would we be able to do some kind of survival kit to help these people throughout the world with all these famines that are coming around, with all these different mosquitoes and blah blah blah? I guess, does everybody know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Actually, if we have like a nuclear holocaust, something like that, we can actually put together a kit. We can put together a kit of different vitamins and different minerals that will protect you or detox you of the rads, the radioactive waves.
Mosquitoes.
Excuse me?
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. You mean the viruses that you get from mosquitoes?
Yeah. Famine.
Absolutely.
The whole 9 yards.
Well, for famine, if everybody right now would, but I wouldn't say everybody because you're gonna have a problem finding it all if everybody goes to the store and seeks out chia seeds. So if you bought a pound of chia seeds and hemp seeds, and I would buy 5 pounds. Buy 5 pounds of chia seeds and 5 pounds of hemp seeds. That's enough food for one person to survive for a year, because you take an ounce of chia seeds, not even an ounce. You take a 1/4 ounce of chia seeds and soak it in water for about 8 hours, and that 1/4 of an ounce of chia seeds will turn into a solid quart of water, of material. So you put it in a quart of water, and it turns into basically like oatmeal, but it's chia seeds. Chia seeds are like one of the highest, energy, whole food proteins that you can put in your body. And in fact, the caveman that they, or what was it, the Iceman that they found a few years ago, there were 2 types of seeds that he had in his pouch. It was hemp seeds and chia seeds.
Doctor, what's your opinion?
Of hemp seed and chia seeds.
No, we're talking about all the
survival
throughout the world with all these diseases, Ebola, all the stuff that's happening throughout the world, like biblically the Bible talks about. And could we cure these diseases?
Well, I think we can. In the Bible, in the book of Ezekiel, I don't know which verse exactly, but it speaks about God providing food, plants for food, and leaves for healing. And I think, God has provided for us somehow to deal with these calamities. Like Chris has mentioned, chia seeds and hemp seeds. Cavemen was foraging those products to survive. I'm sure that would help us. mean, I'm sure that would get us through those periods of hardship.
I've proven through, you know, a lot of the different medical studies treating, you know, many people with various conditions, and one drop of my, you know, created oil that I've done, you know, with the help of Creator, one drop, you know, when somebody has either the flu or pneumonia, you can take one drop, put it in your nasal cavity, and the next day you'll be able to breathe right.
Rick, the same question.
I believe that the hemp product itself is expanding so rapidly that I think the hemp could very possibly help prevent famine. I mean, every week there's more and more hemp farms and more states that are allowing hemp farms to start producing. So if hemp is the answer for famine, then I think we have a good chance.
Mr. Navajo, your answer.
Well, well, it's happening right now, and you know, we just you know, we've been going through this since the start. So we just deal with it, and we have ceremonies and we pray about it, and that's how, like Chris says, you know, I've been in hospitals too. So when I've been like dead too, and you know, like I got over it. Here I am still alive. But yeah, it's like, I think that it's happening now. So I just like, if you go to ceremonies, they talk about what we're talking about here. But it's like elders that talk about it, you know, the prophecies and you know the diseases that we're dealing with now. You know, the food that we eat, you know, that's in the food and the water that we drink. So we just have ceremonies and we sing songs and you know, we pray with the water and you know that everything's okay.
Does the Navajo do the dances like the Hopis, like the ghost dancing?
Well, I think the ghost dance came from the Paiute division that went to other tribes. But yeah, they do other dances like that.
So when they do those dances, it explains, it talks about all the famines, all the cleansing of Mother Earth and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the corn dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it talks about, you know, all that stuff, you know, like with the ceremony. Just, you know, you don't really have to say anything, you know, if your spirit can sense it, you know, if you're connected to the earth. You know, you're not like, you have a spirit in your body. Some people, they don't have spirit in their bodies.
So I didn't mean to change the subject about what we're talking about, cannabis or the oils, but to me it all is hand in hand. It all comes from Mother Earth, so it's all going hand in hand. And I don't know if I'm right, but that's the way I'm seeing it.
Well, we completely have no problem answering the questions that you asked because it's all what we believe in. And you know, I would ask somebody that has no knowledge of any native culture, if they were to go do one ceremony, go witness one ceremony, I would ask that they go witness the corn dance in March out on Second Mesa. You know, as they would learn so much. Because in this land, you know, this is a land that most people came to. And even the Dene, they didn't originate from that land. They originated actually from the north. They came down because there was famine about 2,000 years ago. There was a huge tidal surge tidal wave that came, and it blanketed most of the north and all the ways down the coast, and that caused famine because the tidal wave was like 600 feet, you know, and it struck the coast going 1,000 miles an hour.
Is that true?
That is true.
600 feet?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you can go back into the history books and you'll see it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The biggest devastation where it happened was, in the far north in Alaska. But then it's a wave, so it's just like a wave that you go surf on, that you'll have your peak, and then farther away from, where the center of that, quake was, it'll be smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
So, this is for all of you. So, do you believe, we got about 15 minutes left, so all of a sudden cannabis came out in the open. So, do you believe that it is a God's miracle or the higher power miracle that is coming out and making these cures?
I believe that it's always been here,
But I mean, it's coming out now, so it's.
Oh, it's definitely.
It's God's miracle or a higher power miracle.
I do thank God. I thank Creator. I actually thank all of them. I mean, I am Buddhist, but I actually pray to all of them. I mean, because if I want to be heard, I'm gonna pray to Jesus. I'm gonna pray to Yeshua. I'm gonna pray to Jehovah. I'll acknowledge all of their names because, there's no right or wrong when it comes to, the belief in the goodness of God. It's all good as long as it's good for us. As long as the intent is healing and loving, then there can be no harm.
Rick?
Yeah, I believe that the cannabis was put here by the Creator to help cure all of us, and I think that's what it's doing. I think our generation, I'm older now, but all the generations are starting to get the consciousness of that cannabis is a true medical plant. It's not just to get high. It works for healing. You can't say, oh well, this this oil cures cancer. What you can say is this oil helps boost your immune system to help fight cancers and other illnesses. And I believe that medicine was put here by the Creator to let us all experience it.
Doc?
I think Rick really summarized it really good, that this product, this God-given gift, cannabis is provided by the Creator. And like I said, you can reference the verse in the Bible. Ezekiel mentions that God provides the plants for food and the leaves for healing. And I believe the leaves he was referring to is cannabis. And I truly believe that was God-given, and we got to learn how to use it, this God-given gift.
Mr. Navajo?
She Sydney she she so she Mr. Navajo she my name is Shkip Tsui, that's what my grandma called me, in my language. In Navajo that means the kid that's ready for something. So my name is really not Sydney, or Mr. Navajo, it's called Shkip Tsui. But your question, it's going to be okay, because, we'll get through, surviving these hardships, they're just simple struggles because we've struggled all our lives, so, it's kind of like struggling or dealing with negative spirits are just part of our lives, and we always drop cedar and then they go away. So that's how I answer my question. Yeah, she gets. Thank you, my brother. Navajo. Yeah, thank you. She gets my bro, the one that went to say. Yeah.
So do you have a last song for us?
Oh.
Before we go out?
Song. Yeah, this is like when the ceremony ends, this is and I'll sing this one in Lakota. Lakota also means the people. It's not Sioux. Sioux, they say Sioux means the enemy. but it's Lakota, the people. Just like the net, the people. Everything's for the people. Wakatanka doka shela bela maya ero chanopa wakacha uekoelo bela maya elo we chose any maya la goelo bela maya he bela maya elo wakatanka doka shela bela maya elo chadopa wakacha uekoelo bela maya elo we chose any maya la goelo bela maya he bela maya elo wakataka doka shela bela maya elo chanopa wakacha uekoelo bela maya elo we chose any maya la goelo bela maya he bela maya elo wakatanka doka shela bela maya elo chanopa wakacha uekoelo bela maya elo we chose any maya la goelo bela maya he bela maya elo Ojonasli ikehe hotal deni chidisini hotal but zini but sita chidisin. I thank you in that way, you know the thank you song, the Changlish Gale, the Waka Taka, the buffalo that provides the food, Chanupa Changlish Gale. Thank you, Creator. That way, thank you. Ojonasli. Thank you again.
So we're out of time, so I would like to say it was an honor having you guys here. It was my honor having you. I really enjoyed you guys today.
Thank you very much. It was
Thank
our
you.
honor too.
You guys did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
I hope you guys come back.
Okay.
We're right around the corner.
We're going to do a show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do a show.
Yeah.
So, expecting a new show coming up. So, this is Danny Acres, Internet City Live. We're signing out. So, until next time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Don't show us stay.